professionalism to our leagues, and some of those boards need for their bilateral cricket get fixtures more uplifting, but it was anything but. I don't know what will come from it because the way the game is governed, it's the ICC that runs the game, and they're a members' body, so the members will have to kind of get on board with this, all of the different boards. But it just felt like there was a big appetite for positive change in the room, and also, overwhelmingly, there was a real feeling, Mel, that the game's actually in very rude health in many ways. You know, we have three formats that are coexisting very nicely. That's a blessing in many ways. It's the envy of other sports. Other sports are looking what can be their version of T20 cricket. So I thought it was a really uplifting day. As you rightly pointed out, a bit of a tiring 72 hours for me too. But yeah, hopefully alongside Trudy Lindblade and Wilf Walsh, who were there as Cricket Scotland representatives, and Paris Khadka, who was there, the Cricket Association of Nepal's secretary, who I actually, during my piece, I asked for him to stand up, and he got a big round of applause from the long room at Lord's. Let's hope that there's some really positive things will come out of it. I think there'll be a press release next week from the MCC, and credit to the MCC for putting this together to really try and kind of be the organisation with all of their history and heritage that's going to try and innovate and help drive the game forward.
I'm sure that the associate world were very happy that you were actually there, Lenny.
Cut away for four. That's a fine stroke. One of us, Arif Sheikh's favourite strokes. And he gets the cut out. The Iceman's at it again. 4 more to him.
First over from Sharif as well. Safi and Sharif. He kept it tight until that moment. Just the extra width was all that was needed. Good bit of bounce as well to work with. Actually rode that bounce pretty well. They're certainly not giving this up.
Just a final note, and then MCC World Cricket Connects. We get Chase starting to get more than a touch interesting. Nepal living up to their name as the Cardiac Kids yet again. It was Rohan Sajden and Vipin Gupta from the Boston Consulting Group in the morning. Tom Moffat, the CEO of the World Cricketers Association, that's the former FICA body that's now been renamed, and Paul Marsh, who's back as the CEO. I think he's of the Australian Cricketers Association. But then Heath Mills, the Kiwi, I think he was originally involved with the New Zealand Players Association. He's now the executive chair of the World Cricketers Association, alongside Johnny Grave, the CEO of Major League Cricket, and Kumar Sangakkara and Mel Jones as former players. There was an amazing amount of agreement within the room. That was the thing that probably filled me with the most hope, that there could be some really positive change. And then also a special mention for Dr. Sarah Fain, the director of the MCC Foundation, who told the story of Afghan cricket and its history, and how that's all come about and risen incredibly well as part of the work that the MCC Foundation do. They're now in 9 countries all around the world, including Nepal, and many and indeed an amazing film about Lebanon, where they're getting Syrian refugees to play cricket to really change their lives. And there's some fascinating stuff then in the afternoon from both Satyan Gajwani, the vice chair of Times Internet, and Malika Petkar, the head of strategy for GeoStar. So yeah, there were lots of ICC bodies in the room, lots of old colleagues and friendly faces, and yeah, the sort of thing where you kind of come away and you go, God, we have such a great sport. It could be even better with just a little bit more love and care and attention, and critically, collaboration.
Yeah, it has to come from all directions. And even when you look at the fact that every time there's a bilateral series played between 4 members, I hear people talking about context and the lack of it. I slid to the knees by Charlie Castle. Everyone will be saying, get rid of meaningless bilaterals. We want context. Well, we did have it in the World Super League, which existed for 1 cycle. It was brilliant for the Netherlands. And you saw when they got to a World Cup, that World Cup in India in particular, just how well served they'd been by playing in that World Super League.
Yeah, and that was, I suppose, the maybe the one disappointing aspect of the morning, we were kind of constantly, they were trying to get data from the group as well. So it was a very virtual and excuse me, very engaging and interactive conference because you were constantly being asked to vote on things and ask questions via this kind of interactive tool. Worked really, really well. And 50% of the room, or close to it, was saying we should get rid of bilateral ODIs. And I wanted to say, hold on, the best league in world cricket is Cricket World Cup League 2. And in fairness, I think people have interpreted that question as full member bilateral ODIs, of which, of course, again, what Paul Moffat was saying from and all of the World Cricketers Association stuff was create leagues for each of the three formats.
Yep.
There was a big call to make the World Test Championship more understandable. Everyone loves the World Test Championship. Everyone's looking forward to the grand finale, sold out for 4 days at Lord's coming up. But they want, people to understand how it works and make it more simple. Sheikh drives well enough for a dashed quick single. So yeah, pretty inspiring stuff, Mel. I'm really hopeful that, the world game, which needs to be driven by the associate game, in my opinion, because they're the majority of the nations. There's 96 of them. Can't just focus on the 12 test nations, is going to have a bright future. And I might just go back to that fantastic quote. I wanted to say it yesterday. I never quite found a moment to say it up on stage. But the thing that we saw Eddie Gibbs post on Twitter regards to Nepal's incredible one-wicket win in the reverse of this fixture. He said, associate cricket is not a charity case or a sideshow. It is a fire lit under the complacency of the game's establishment. The sport does not need to save associate cricket. Associate cricket might just save the sport itself.
Yeah, that was a wonderful quote.
Action replay. Cannot bowl there. Sheikh dragged down by Safian Sharif and just hammered away, wasn't it? Right out of the middle of the bat, flies to the rope.
Yeah, it was an invitation. And one that was very welcome. Thank you very much. Now this chase, how are we feeling about it? Up, required run rate now up above 7. Where do we feel it gets to be too much?
Still mission impossible, but that means nothing to the cardiac kids. Nothing at all. That's just another game to them.
Oh dear.
I do. It's starting to build up that you're going, well, hold on, we might have a real game on our hands here. It didn't look likely for much of the first 10 overs there. Slight mix up, good loud call. Sends Bim Sharkey back. He already looks like he's got the bit between his teeth. You're always going to feel good walking to the crease after a player of the match performance, but the footwork in particular has been very swift from Arif Sheikh.
It has, and this partnership is actually just building nicely. They were both out there on 0, not having faced the ball because of the rapidness of the wickets that preceded their arrival.
You just cannot bowl there to Arif Sheikh. That is slightly naive bowling, I've got to say. Short and wide, you're just feeding his favourite shot. And it's hitting with the wind. It's really bowling machine stuff there. Just help yourself. Cash in again, Arif, the second boundary of the over.
Well, I said the last one was an invitation, but that's just a little bit too generous from Safian Sharif. And not only is it with the wind, it's also the shortest boundary. So he's just offered it up on a plate for him and the easiest part to hit to of the ground.
Oh, inside edge this time. Better from Sharif. That's a much better line. Exactly where he should be. Just get a sense, the 12th player, I know it's a Scotland home game, but the crowd at best is 50-50. It's probably, if anything, 60-40 in Nepal's favour. And I know which set of fans is being louder. Look at that short, wide. Help yourself.
It really is. It just couldn't be calculated to bowl a better shot to put away, just with the way the wind is situated and the boundaries and the strength of Sheikh.
Bim Sharkey, in the meantime, is really struggling, isn't he? 13 off 29 for Arif Sheikh's success.